Kiwis are rich in arginine, an amino acid that supports T-cell activation and proliferation.
In this video, I'm going to be talking about kiwis and how, as a result of amino acid absorption in the gut, can actually lead to improved immune system function against cancer and tumors. Okay, so kiwi contains a proteolytic enzyme called actinidin, which affects protein digestion. Now, it's important to know and understand that kiwi fruit, that it's different and unique compared to other fruits, because other fruits, they don't contain this proteolytic enzyme actinidin. So other fruits, they're not going to have the same effect that kiwis do. So kiwis stand out compared to other fruits. Okay, now some of the main digestive effects of actinidin in kiwi is that it breaks peptide bonds in dietary proteins, increasing the digestion rate of proteins in the stomach and small intestine. So this leads to higher availability of free amino acids and peptides for absorption. Now that's one of these amino acids happens to be arginine, and arginine is critical for immune T-cell function. That's especially important in the hostile tumor microenvironment where the tumors, they actually steal and rob arginine away from T cells, leading to arginine depletion. So kiwi consumption can improve digestion of meat and dairy proteins. Some of the important amino acids increased after protein digestion are leucine, glutamine, serine, and methionine. And as I said earlier, arginine. And these are critical for immune cell metabolic fuels. So, activated T cells, they undergo metabolic reprogramming and they actually increase uptake of amino acids via transporters like ASCT2, which is a glutamine transporter, and then LAT1, which is a leucine transporter. And these amino acids, they can regulate cytotoxic function in T cells. One of those functions is granzyme B and perforins. Basically, this function, it it induces apoptosis within cancer cells, or which is a pretty much programmed cell death. So once T cells uptake the amino acids via the transporters, that also leads to T cell proliferation. That's important so that there are enough or a high number of T cells, because cancer cells can metastasize and grow in numbers. So it's important to keep the T cell numbers up as well to be able to deal with the increasing number in T cells, or to be able to deal with the increasing number in cancer cells, so that the T cells can keep up with the number of cancer cells that are increasing. Okay, so there have been some sources and studies saying that glutamine, an amino acid, actually can feed cancer cells and support cancer growth. But glutamine can also fuel the TCA cycle, leading to ATP, therefore glutamine upregulating, enabling actin polymerization. So glutamine is actually a double-edged sword, because not only does it increase cancer, but it also helps fight cancer. Because if glutamine upregulates actin polymerization, that also supports DSMAC. So the DSMAC works in tandem or in combination with the PSMAC. So the PSMAC cannot work without the DSMAC as well as the C-SMAC. So pretty much the P-SMAC is the end of the tumor, and tumors hate P-SMAC. Okay, so the C-SMAC, which is a part of the P-SMAC, actually needs a TCR signaling. Therefore, with peptides, okay, amino acids, thanks to a kiwi helping their absorption, they actually increase the synthesis of TCR signaling proteins. So therefore, amino acids help CSMAC with the TCR signaling. Okay, the amino acids, they are also important for natural killer cell metabolism. Now, NK cells, they are actually strongly amino acid dependent. So that could explain why maybe some cancer patients, however bad their poor prognosis is, or are possibly amino acid deficient, or they're not getting enough amino acids, or the amino acids are not absorbing very well. So the key amino acids for natural killer cells are glutamine, which supports IFNY production. Now, this is where uh, cancer patients and anyone treating cancer has to be careful, because too much IFNY can actually stimulate cancer growth, because so IFNY attacks the cancer cell. That's what the T cell uses to attack cancer cells, but too much could actually backfire and could cause the cancer cell to retaliate by secreting more adenosine. And then adenosine actually suppresses T cells. So have to be careful to not boost IFNY too much. Okay, so the next one here for natural killer cells is arginine, and helps for uh, NK cell proliferation as well as mitochondrial metabolism, because mitochondria gives ATP to the immune system, and the immune system needs a lot of ATP. Next amino acid is serine glycine, supports a rapid natural killer cell activation. So when amino acids are abundant, thanks to kiwis, NK cells show a stronger perforin granzyme release, or meaning apoptosis, in cancer cells, and also improved tumor cell killing. So this goes to show that kiwi fruit, with its unique actinidin enzyme, it is a potent anti-cancer food. Okay, this is where NK cells have a much higher chance of attacking cancer cells, because what tumors try to do is that they actually escape a T cell attack, and they do so by downregulating MHC1, which is actually short for major histocompatibility complex class 1. This is where kiwis and amino acid absorption are super, super critical, because if there aren't any NK cells as a result of no kiwi or no amino acid absorption, this could also explain why high cancer rates. But if amino acids are absent, that means that there are going to be no NK cells or weakened NK cells. And that's not good, because then the tumors will also have no T cells either, because tumors, by downregulating MHC, this actually prevents CD8 T cells from recognizing tumor antigens. So that's how tumors escape T cell attack. And that's it's not a good situation if there are no amino acids either, or the amino acids are not being absorbed properly, since NK cells are strongly dependent on amino acids. So if there are no T cells, because tumors escape them by downregulating MHC1, and there are also no NK cells either, because NK cells and T cells are two different cells, uh, because of poor amino acid absorption, then that means that cancer cells are going unopposed and have a higher chance of metastasizing, because there are no T cells and there are no NK cells either in the scenario where amino acids are being poorly absorbed. That's why it's critical to include kiwis as a potent anti-cancer food in your diet. Also, another good thing is that when tumors, when they downregulate MHC1 to escape T cells, that actually increases the tumor's vulnerability to NK cells, because NK cells, they attack cells that lack MHC1. So that's it for the video. If you want more future videos, then like, comment, share, subscribe. Be locked in here on my channel, and I'll see you next time.